Hello, it's Uncommon Fossil, and today I want to talk about another item lock deck. This one is Banette EX. This has been around a little bit longer. It came out in Scarlet and Violet base set. It is a Stage 1 EX, 250 HP, so not a bad number, but certainly not tanky either. But then what it does is with Everlasting Darkness, that's the attack we're really using most of the time, does 30 damage for 1 Psychic Energy. Not that exciting there, but then during opponent's next turn, they can't play any item cards from hand. An item lock is very effective in general, and I do like it right now because of all these decks that are relying on rare candy to evolve the Pidgeot EX, the Charizard EX. In some cases, they don't even play any stage 1s, which means, hey, once they're item locked, they can't play rare candy. They can't evolve into the attackers they need. They've almost, if you get set up fast enough, you have won the game before it starts. So I like it a lot. It does have a second attack for much bigger damage potentially. Poltergeist for Psychic Colress. 60 damage for each trainer card in your opponent's hand. They reveal their hand so you get to know what their hand is, and then 60 per trainer card there. So if you've managed to get them up to a big hand, which can happen if you're caught forcing them kind of just to pass, not do much turn after turn because they can't play any items, then you can do big damage with Poltergeist, but primarily it's Everlasting Darkness for item lock. So we're playing here a 4-3 line, 4 of the basics, the Shuppet, 60 HP, and we'll occasionally attack with this. It's 1 energy as well. Enveloping Shadow does 10. Flip a coin. If heads, they can't play an item card. So it's a coin toss, but you know, if you go second and you attack with this and boom, you hit heads, all of a sudden you're in a really strong position. So obviously relying on a coin toss isn't a good feeling, but it's there. It's tough to pass up that opportunity when things come that way. All right, what else are we playing? We're playing a 2-2 Spidops line. Just 2-2. I think that's all. Deck space is tougher with this one. And we have 2 energy types, right? Because Spidops is here for 2 things. 1, trap territory ability. Your opponent's active Pokemon's retreat cost is 1 more. So with the item lock, we want to get something up into the active that they don't want there, can't attack with ideally, and just keeping them at item lock, because the main way cards come out of the active is with Switch and Rope. Otherwise, they have to pay the retreat cost, which they can do, but now we're making that 1 or 2 energies higher, so that much tougher for them to get set up to retreat out of the active as well. And it is a grass stage 1, so grass is good against Charizard EX. The older one at this point, obviously is the one I'm talking about, the dark one. And Wire Hang for grass colorless does 90 plus 30 more for each retreat cost in your opponent's active Pokemon. And I believe Charizard has a retreat cost of 2. This would be in play at least 1, so 3. So that is 3 times 3, 90. So 180. They're weak. So boom, you one-shot Charizard EX if my math is correct with Spidops EX. And one-shotting Charizard EX is something you want to be able to do. So having some grass energy to attack with is good, but it does make it a little less consistent having the 2 types of energy, which is partly why this is probably not as strong as the Venomoth build. Engines, I am playing a 2-2 Kirlia, right? 2 Kirlia for refinement. You discard a card from hand, draw 2 cards, so very good engine piece. Good, works early, works late. I'm finding it right now, it's my go-to engine over Barrel. It just works a little better, a little easier to set up and get working, I'm finding. Then also playing 1 Gallade for Buddy Catch. Once during your turn, you search your deck for a supporter, reveal it, put it into your hand. Right, for a deck like this, where we love to boss something up, get it stuck in the active, having the Gallade late game to draw a boss when we want, very good. So Kirlia early, use Kirlia a few times early, and then go to Gallade. And we can attack with Gallade too if we so choose, but usually we don't really want to do that. So those are the main Pokemon. Then we also play, because we might be playing the stall game, we play a Pidgeot V for its Vanishing Wings ability. Once during your turn, if this Pokemon is on your bench, you may shuffle it and all attached cards into your deck. So very easy way, 1 card that makes your deck infinite, right? Just draw the Pidgeot V, play it on the bench, put it back in the deck, draw it the next turn. So once it's your last card, as long as you have an empty open bench space, your deck is infinite. So simple way to handle that. And then Radiant Alakazam for Painful Spoons. you move up to 2 damage counters for one of your opponent's Pokemon to another. Mostly what you're doing is moving damage off the active to a bench so that we get that Pokemon stuck in the active that's not a threat to us, and we want to move stuff off, keep the active from getting knocked out. I may ideally even take some prizes from those bench Pokemon as we knock them out, or just set things up on the bench that they're trying to swing into the active so we can take them out easier. So works really well with this deck. Yep, those are all the Pokemon. So energy here, as I said, it's an energy split, and 9 energy. 9's not a high number of energy. That's one of the weaknesses. The attackers are 1 energy, right? The main attacker, the Banette, is 1 energy. So 6 Psychic, 2 Grass, and 1 Luminous Energy. Luminous obviously covers both the Psychic or the Grass, so I like having that flexibility in it. So could even include a 2nd Luminous. Not sure what I'd cut, though, at this point. It's been a tight deck list putting this together, is what I'll say. All right, let's see. Pokemon Search, we play 2 Nest Ball. For Level Ball, Level Ball is just really good because it gets the basic Pokemon into play for the most part, and it gets the Kirlia. So 4 Level Ball, 4 Fog Crystal, right? That gets us our basic Psychic Pokemon if we want, or basic Psychic Energy. So that, in a sense, besides the Pokemon Search, kind of helps us hit that Psychic Energy we need. So 4 Fog Crystal, really good with a deck like this. And 2 Ultra Ball, we need to get the Banette EX into hand, so Ultra Ball is necessary for that. All right, let's see what else we have. 3 Switch, 1 Rope. The Rope's useful occasionally, but we really want to lean heavy on Switch because, especially like the Kirlias, our retreat cost is 2. I believe the Alakazam, the retreat cost is 2 again. Spidops retreat cost is 2. So we have these Pokemon that we can get stuck on the active. We need to be able to get them out. So 3 Switch, higher than normal. Again, that's part of the deck space issue, but I found when I was playing less than that, a boss would just cause me too much trouble. My opponent would set up, and then I would lose the games. But I want to keep what's stuck on the active stuck there, so that's why more Switch than Rope. Let's see, any other items before I hit the trainers. Then we play 2 Super Rods, right? Get back energy and or Pokemon up to 3 from the discard pile into the deck. You know that. Very useful card here. 1 Pal Pad, put up to 2 supporters from the discard pile into the deck. Just get back whatever supporters we need for the matchup. That could be cut and replaced with a specific supporter, I suppose, or something else as I'm looking at this list. And then there's 1 stadium here, Pokemon League headquarters. Or no, 3 copies of the 1 stadium. Attacks of basic Pokemon cost 1 colorless energy more. Dare to bump Path, partly because we do want to use Radiant Alakazam's ability, or Pidgeot V if it comes down to that. Certainly Spidops EX's ability we want there, so Path is bad for us. And then also against basic attackers, make it so they have a harder time attacking. That just helps that stall situation work even more effectively. Getting down to the supporters, 2 Raihan, really good with basic energy attackers, right? If your Pokemon's knocked out last turn, you accelerate a basic energy from the discard pile to one of your Pokemon, search your deck for any 1 card. Just helps us stream attackers there. Very nice. 3 Ionos, good early getting some cards. Late game, we get our opponents to a small hand size, so super useful there. 3 Colress Experiment, leaning on this rather than research. I figure I don't want to trash the whole hand usually, but losing a couple cards for the duration of the game is okay. So you look at 5, 3 in hand, 2 in the lost zone. It's pretty good search, and you do get, draw, and you do get a certain amount of selecting with things, so I like it there. And 3 Bosses Order, just trying to make life difficult for our opponent, slow them down. So boss, super important. I believe I've hit all the cards there. So this deck is pretty good, although I will say, at this point, I think the Venomoth is a little bit smoother functioning deck, but it certainly is nice having this option. The plus side to the Banette deck is Banette itself is tankier, which can be an advantage in some matchups. So let's see what we can do here. I think personally I like having the single prize item lock deck myself in that it you can fall behind, your opponent can take some knockouts, and you have you can come back. You have time to come back still, because once you get set up, your opponent can be in trouble. Now, the one thing is, though, once you kind of want item lock early in a lot of these matchups too. When you get item lock late in the game, it may be too late, right? Like especially if your opponent has Pidgeot EX, they're probably going to get out of it. Okay, so not ideal here. So okay, not bad here. Playing a Manaphy, so I will get a Shuppet and a Ralts down, and I got to think what else I want though, right? Maybe I want to get a second Ralts down for next turn. Let's think. I'm going to attach the energy to the Shuppet. I'll get that into the Ralts. That's the safest thing, assuming, well, the safest thing, let me just make sure I have two Kirlias. Okay, I have both Kirlias there. The safest thing would be another Shuppet, because I need that to attack next turn, but I'll end turn there. Okay, so this is a nice hand to have for the start of next turn, because I switch. All right, well, this, all right, up against the Alakazam deck, which I'm probably not sure the exact sequence things will work out, but that was the last video. That was probably the video from the day before. All right, well, this is not good because I can't hit through Mimikyu. But okay, so let me get something tossed down get that another Shuppet so I can attack with him. I'm going to switch here. Do I want to play down the Luminous Energy? I'm going to attach this to Shuppet just to get him set up for next turn. Hopefully, now I need my stage 1 still. Hit into that. That's very good there. And I will get them item blocked now. Okay, we'll see what happens here. Obviously, I want to keep the Manaphy here active as long as possible, so hopefully I can get Radiant Alakazam into play so I can start healing up that Manaphy. I want to heal the Manaphy and push it onto the Mimikyu, right? Those Mimikyus are really, really nasty for me. Path to the Peak, that's not good. But they bumped their own stadium, so that's good. So I have the potential to, so that means I have my 3 stadiums. I have my 3 bumps to their stadium in hand. Okay, so I need to Colress now, I think. Let's see what I can hit. Not loving any of this here. Switch. I'll take a boss. Do I want a Grass Energy? I think I do. Or do I want a Rod? All right, I'll grab the Grass. Put this on Spidops EX. Obviously, I'm missing the Ralts. Playing just the 2/2 line of the Kirlia definitely has its risks. So keeping them item locked. I'm going to knock them out next turn. I might want to boss up something else, actually, right? So, okay, see what they can do. They are item locked, obviously, so they can't Ultra Ball to grab that Alakazam. Not what I want here, I gotta say. So I'm gonna gust up here. Guess I'm gonna gust up the Ralts. I will attach an energy to the Spidops so he can attack if I so choose. And I could thin with the Fog Crystal, but I don't. I may want that in the future, right? I don't want to just burn resources just on the hopes of thinning either, right? It's not. You don't want to just be too careless with resources either. I may need that energy down the road. I may need to get another Shuppet into play too. Again, I probably would get Iono to the bottom of the deck most likely. Maybe Judge, Judge, you see Judge pop up occasionally. Not a lot though, right? Okay. So Iono. I really need to get the stadium. All right, 2 Kirlias. That's very pretty looking. Very pretty looking. So I might just Colress here, right? Did I get rid of a rod? I did get rid of a rod. All right, let me Colress first, see what I get. I want my stadium. I want boss. I'll grab the Switch. So, what do I get rid of here? Get rid of a grass energy. I do want to bump the stadium. I think I would like to hit. I could have used Level Ball to thin, but again, I don't just want to do things unnecessarily. Maybe I wait on the stadiums. All right, I'm just going to attack here. Keep them in the item lock. Again, I need to hit a Banette EX. I need a bunch of things to happen here, really. Okay, so not liking my position that much here. All right, I'm going to just dig. I'll get rid of these level balls. I don't. Pal Pad is good. If I use that boss, I will Pal Pad. But let's see. I do have Ultra Ball, which is good too. Because I do want to evolve the other Banette. All right, so Rod is useful. So I'll evolve here. Maybe I want to get into play. All right, I'm going to toss these two. I do have Rod to get them back. So let me grab my... he's prized. He's prized. I didn't pay enough attention, did I? My Radiant Alakazam is prized. Okay, so I should grab something. All right, down to 1 energy there. Okay, rope, switch, boss. Okay, so I will grab the Gallade, though. Gallade is good still, right? I will... Now let me boss up something here, right? All right. Let me play my Pal Pad first. I want to grab these bosses back, so this gives me a set of 3 bosses to work with. Liking that. I'll grab Iono. That way, if they disrupt my hand, I'm almost guaranteed to get... And I think I don't think I want Pokemon League headquarters still, right? Don't think I want that yet. So I have Rod. So I need to recover at some point the Pidgey. I mean, right now I have 3 cards to recover, which I probably would do all those. So I have 13. So I see 6 cards. I have 3 bosses in 13. Out of 13 cards, I should hit a boss, which I did. That's quite nice too. So what do I want to take out here, right? That's kind of the question. I think at this point... Okay, I guess I just take this guy out, right? At this point. I need to start taking prizes because I need to get Alakazam. I mean, I can kind of gust around Alakazam as well. I mean, around the right. I got to deal with these Mimikyus, right? They're going to set Mimikyu. They start doing 7, right? Which, so that, you know, it adds up. But 7, they need, what, 4 turns to knock me out? I do have the ability to switch, so that's okay. So I think I gust up. Okay, I get 2 boss sitting here and staring at me. Take out the Kirlia because he's gets to be very useful for sure. I need Radiant Alakazam. That's what I need. So Radiant Alakazam being prized is making things difficult. And all right, good. I mean, it's going to be a struggle though. It will be a struggle, but I should be able to pull this off just because they're going to have a tough time getting through me. I guess I need to power up the Gallade, right? So I will gust up Alakazam. The question is, so at this point they can't. I don't knock them out this turn, which is a big +2. So move energies there to there. Hit into the. Again, I just kind of sit on what I have here. I think. D30. They're item locked. Spidops is working, so the retreat cost is 2, which is good, right? Just having the 1 Spidops helps a lot because therefore 1 attachment. I mean, they could attack with Abra, but that would be it. So this will go down to 10. So I can. So I don't need to use rope this turn, which is a big plus. Okay, they bumped the Artisan, which is fine. Iono. So they couldn't have attacked with Mimikyu without attaching an extra energy with my Stadium. So that's fine. Boss is good. I don't have the bump for the Stadium now, but that's okay. I have the Rod. Now, I filled up my bench, so I could deck out. Decking out's bad, as you would anticipate, right? But, yeah. I should be able to take my prizes before then. So they have Klefki. Klefki's rough as well, for sure. Okay, so I'm going to use you first, right? Heal up the active because we don't want you getting knocked out onto Mimikyu. So it's doing its thing. 40. So I don't knock them out this. I will knock them out next turn, though. So next turn, I could play the Pokemon League headquarters. But I think I want that to bump paths. I need to use Radiant Alakazam. That's what I need to do most of all. No, and actually, they're not attacking this turn anyway. The turn after, but I will boss up. Okay, so I will. I have 1 boss in the discard. No, I have 2. So this is my last boss, right? So 40. I have 30. So let me bring you up. Let me move. I'm just going to get rid of this get rid of the mana fees, what I want to do there. Get rid of 1 Mimikyu. I have my Stadium to make their attack bigger as well. And so I think I just attack here. It's very slow, this game. I should be putting energy onto the Gallade. I don't know if I have what I need, though, for that, right? So I do want to get both energies off the Abra. because I don't want him getting knocked out. I take another prize, so down to 3 prizes. Raihan. Now, Raihan's very nice as well. Okay. So I will keep up the item lock. The Gallade will one-shot the Mimikyu, or... So he's going to get knocked out guaranteed. Now the Klefki, I can't, once he's in the active, I can't move energy onto him, but he does, all right, I think I'm going to bump their stadium because I think that means they can't attack next turn, right? So I think I want to speed up this game, right? So I'm going to move damage off the Abra. And I'll just take him out, right? And I'll just stop there. Okay, so energy is my crunch right now, but that's okay. So I think I will make that play so they can't attack. I'm out of bosses at this point. Down to 1 prize though, right? And I should have a rope somewhere, right? So yeah, so I have the rope in deck because that's been Iono'd in. So letting them attack me isn't terrible at this point. Maybe I made a mistake. All right, so let me get my... All right, so I think I want to... Let me take a look in the deck first. I have rope. Rope gives me game, right? So I want rope for game this turn. So I need to get to the bottom of the deck, very simply, right? Which I should be able to do. All right, so I will Kirlia. I mean, I'm actually not guaranteed to get to the bottom of the deck here, right? All right, I hit rope, and that gives me game. So there we go. I don't know if I quite maximized that game. Certainly, you know, if I had gotten Radiant Alakazam earlier into play, I would have been much better off. Right, so I just do 150, and that is that. So 90 plus 60, right? So there we go. So the deck did its thing, right? Took all prizes. My opponent didn't concede. A lot of times you get concessions. A lot of times, as I've been working on these decks, get a lot of thumbs down from opponents that don't like going up against decks like this. And it's not fun to play against, but it's an important type of deck to know how to play, even if you don't like it. Right, Pokemon prints these cards to allow for this. They don't print a ton of them, and they make them a little bit on the weakish side, is what I'd say. Right, because they don't want this taking over, but they keep it as an option. You know, Pokemon, it's not like Pokemon wants it to go away, because they could make it go away by just not printing item lock cards, right? And we actually have 3 item lock cards, attackers, in the game right now. I'm going to work on the 3rd one for my next video. We'll see if I can get a list that works for that one. That one's probably the least strong of the 3, but definitely want to take a look at it. So Banette EX 250 HP. You can see the tankiness in this video, paying some dividends. Everlasting Darkness, it's 30. You're not doing a ton of damage. You're healing 30 off. So my opponent was smart, I think, in not evolving their their Alakazams, right? if they had an Alakazam and they couldn't attack with it, they would have been in trouble. I certainly could have swung in with Spidops and knocked out. I think. Well, no, maybe I would have had to two-shot them. So, and I also do have, if they have the tanky Pokemon, you do have the Poltergeist attack too. So I think my opponent deliberately didn't evolve. I'm not certain on that. I think that would have been a solid play if they did. Anyway, item lock, very strong these days. Give it a try. Take care.